Welcome, Defenders, to the Lucky Die Dragonseekers. Previously, Alix becomes a face mask, Notch is unintentionally insensitive, and Tawree bonks Notch on the head. Wanting to assess the defensive facilities of the cave complex, the Dragonseekers ask Kimball to show them the traps, hits, and magical runes that she and her father had installed. The Dragon Knights are now only an ice wall and a hostile force away from the dragon eggs that they seek. How long will Ultra be unconscious? Will their prisoner be responsive to their questions? And what lies beyond the wall of ice? I guess you're about to find out. Welcome back to the Lucky Die Dragonseekers. The three of you find yourself standing within a small chamber inside the mountainside. To one side of you, there is a very, very thick magical ice wall, which separates you from the dragon eggs and whatever else may be on the other side. Tied up at your feet, there is an undead drow whom you have recently captured, who is still quite groggy. Whether they are unconscious or pretending to be asleep has yet to be decided. And there is also the young kobold lass, Kimball. Kimball. Kibble, Jesus
She's
Christ.
not dog food.
God damn it. And there's also the young kobold lass, Kimball, who is also kind of standing there with what looks like a small dagger in her hand, looking like a little worried, a little scared by this undead skeletal creature at your feet. What do the three of you want to do?
I think Tawree is leaving the guy up to Notch and the others and Alix, and just making sure that Kimball is okay, and just kneeling down with her, putting her hand on the dagger and making sure she's not doing shit with it.
I don't know about you all, but I'd rather know if someone else is going to be coming after us. I think we need to find out if this little bag of bones here told anybody else.
I'm gonna go make some tea.
That's a good idea.
She nods like she doesn't want to be here in any way, shape, or form, but she wants to help. And yeah, you see her leave the chamber and go off into what looks like a smaller set of chambers off to one side, and you hear kind of not exactly loudly, but she's not taking too much care as she's obviously setting up to make tea, and a fire going off and clanking of metal on metal. Otherwise, your prisoner is at your feet.
Does anybody know if this thing feels pain?
It is a skeleton.
I would say yes, because when you were beating the snot out of it, it did react in pain.
I like
acting.
Reacting, acting, who knows?
And was he awake or was he groggy just?
Could you... No, I'm going to say, it becomes fairly obvious that he's pretending to be unconscious.
Notch takes their shield and smashes it across their face.
Not so hard. Don't break the face.
Yeah, see? Told you. It's awake. Hey.
Hi.
Can I understand that?
Yeah. They're speaking Kino Common, so you'll be
Okay.
able to understand.
Why did you follow us?
You and your companions, as he turns his head to look at Notch, and looks back at you, Tawree.
Also me.
He starts off with you and then turns to look at Notch when they're adding the S.
I just want to acknowledge that I am also a companion.
And a damn
very-
good one, Gooey.
Interesting one at that.
Thank you. I am very interesting, I think. And very good. I appreciate that, Notch. Thank you.
You are. How does a creature like you end up in such interesting company?
It is an incredibly long story, and I think our audience would be bored to hear it all over again, so I will not tell.
Let's just
This
say
is-
they're flexible.
This is not about our companion. This is about you. You've been following us since the tavern.
We
What?
have.
Why?
You were discussing items that are important to us and the mistress.
What mistress?
He looks up at you. As he's the longer you're talking with him, you're realizing that some of the flesh is beginning to return to his body. It's not just skeletal anymore, but it seems to be a slow process. And he kind of gives you like half a smile, as best a smile that a skeleton could give you, and he says, "One who is far more powerful than you are."
Well, considering we just kicked your ass, I don't think that's a fair play to say.
Many things could kick my bony, scrawny ass, but you, however, I'm fairly certain the mistress will turn into puppets. At least I still have my free will.
Well, does she know where you're at?
She might.
I don't go well on might. I want to know who else knows where you went.
Let's see. There was a human, Dragon Knight, or at least pretended to be. I know where we were headed.
Where was this?
The mistress, of course.
Oh no, we kicked that guy's ass.
Yeah, you killed that guy.
Oh, yeah.
We killed that
yeah.
guy.
He stole your shield.
And we hid him in the foliage.
Apparently not well enough.
Well, they didn't notice him apparently. They didn't, because we hid him. So they didn't notice that he was dead.
Oh,
And I'm sure some others of the whom the mistress did not tell. I cannot speak for her.
What is your mistress's interest in the items that you're looking for?
Oh, you mean those things? And they look over at where the dragon eggs are.
Yeah. What is your mistress's business with the dragon eggs?
And what are your business with the dragon eggs?
well.
Doesn't concern you.
Yeah. Also,
Yes,
if you
I
just
will give
heard
the same answer.
what they said, other people know where we are, so we might want to hurry this up. I mean, I don't know about this mistress person, but if they travel fast, I don't know.
We do still have a few traps down the cave.
Yeah, like you've probably used one of them in the apprehension of this culprit. There are a fair few that Kimball had set up. Yeah.
Oh, we also, I think I remember that we narrowed the entrance even further so that
You did,
don't
yeah.
really see it.
That's right, yeah. So the kind of more part that has been like carved into the rock, yeah, you just made it impassable for anyone but one person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bone bags. What's your name?
Arcantos. Yours?
Notch. I'd say pleased to meet you, but no.
Under these circumstances, we can just nod, and he does.
Can you spell the name?
Yeah. Arkantos.
Arcantos. Well, see, honestly, I don't care if you live or die at this point, but I will say,
Remain undead, please.
well, I can send you back to where you weren't, so, I mean, that's another option.
True.
And as long as you're here, we can make your here a lot worse, too. So I think you have two options right now. One, tell us as much as you know about this mistress. You don't have to tell her that you told us a thing, but I figure it'd give us a leg up. Or we can go the alternate route, and we have a lot of ways, and you have a lot of pieces that I think you could depart with.
I would like you to roll an intimidation at advantage, please.
I gotta do it twice?
Yeah, so advantage means you get to roll twice and take the highest result, and a disadvantage means you roll twice but take the lowest result.
Double 19s.
Oh, well, I guess that example didn't work. On a 19, Arcantos kind of ponders his undead life and the decisions that led him to where he is. And he just very slowly nods and says, Mistress will probably most likely still be able to find me. But let's delay death a little longer, shall we?
Fair enough.
What do you wish to know?
Well, for one, who's this mistress? Got a name? I mean, if you know her.
Her name is Kels.
Kels.
She is the de facto leader of the Kino Initiative.
Oh, I don't remember how much how much Tawree knows of Kels.
You definitely would have come across her name.
Yeah.
You definitely would have known and heard about a little bit more about her from the Kino Initiative Task Force 10, for sure. Yeah, like you would probably, I think, be able to piece together that she's the necromancer for sure. When you went to fight, when you saw the two dragons and Kels.
Right, the two dragons tried to attack Kels.
Yes, so she knows that she is powerful enough to have taken out a dragon potentially. Yeah, like you would definitely have to piece that together for sure.
Yeah. When I was in the city, when the two dragons attacked that I saw, they were trying to attack Kels together. That's the person they were attacking.
I heard some whispers, this lady bringing orcs back from the dead. Is that right?
Yes.
All right. So she's some sort of magical necromancer hoodabadoo, right?
Yes, she's very powerful. She has the ability to bring many things back from the dead in various levels of decomposition, control. I believe she's also even able to completely revive someone should she wish, but that's not an option she often chooses.
All right. Let's see here. How well do you know this, Kels?
As well as any of us who are indebted to her for our undead lives. Are you not lost at all?
You know her well enough, then you might know any such weakness she might have. Anything we should know.
She is... and please do not tell her I said this. She's quite arrogant. Very, very cocksure of herself. But then, is it really arrogance if you really are that good at what you do?
All things fear something. What does she fear?
I do not know. I assume death, since she's become a master of such.
That doesn't really help us. Oh, Tawree, Alix, you seem more inclined to this magic stuff than I.
I don't know much about necromancers myself. I just know that this Kels person is not a very good... I think, if I understood it correctly, at the last meeting that I was at with the people of Kit 10, Kels is kind of part of this whole world-ending thing.
Oh, yes, she is, and it's absolutely glorious.
I do not know anything about necromancy, but I can try to see if there's anything in my genetic memory about it, if that'll help?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Roll a history check. Is that how... There is I don't know if there's any mechanics related to this, but I'd say history.
Okay.
Fuck it, why not? Sounds dope.
7.
You are aware that necromancers exist, that although many people attempt to become necromancers, none of them are as big or as famous as Kells. Or... No, you wouldn't know that other name for sure. Yeah, you would know that Kells is like a very powerful necromancer. You would know that necromancers have the power to reanimate skeletons and to bring people back from the dead, but often under their control in some way or form. The fact that this one has said that they can also bring people back from the dead completely free of any ties is a new thing for you. You haven't ever heard of any of your kin that have been reanimated in such a way? I think that's probably it. 1 or 7.
And Alex's takeaway from that is they look really pensive. Well, as pensive as you can look without facial features. And then they kind of look over at... Sorry, I'm about to say something so fucking stupid that I made myself laugh. They look over at their friends and they go, Kells does not know how to reanimate plasmoids.
Great. That's good to know.
That is fully what Alex took from that.
That's a success in their book.
And that's a challenge directly to you, V.
All right, motherfuckers.
My takeaway from all this is that we have somebody a little bit out of our league who knows where we're at right now, and our duty and our fealty is to those eggs and making sure that they're safe, especially when old Bunnykins is out of the picture right now. I think we need to focus on that and beat Tail out of here.
Before we do that, I think like Tawree wants to step away for a moment and like make it look like she's going to check on Kimball.
Yeah,
which she probably is going to do anyway. But like on her way there, she's going to take out the bracelet from Zarissa.
Yeah,
and she's going to break one of the beads that is on there.
Okay.
And I think that is a 25-word message that she gets.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So she's gonna send a message. Found the eggs. At least 3. Skeleton of Kells is here.
0.
No. Skeleton of Kells.
Oh, the undead guy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Can she find us here? We might need help. I think that's 20. Love you, bye.
Yeah, please don't forget to tell them you love them.
Yep.
That's the rules.
Hugs and kisses, XOXO. Would I notice that, by the way? That they just skedaddle off to the side?
If you want, I say take a perception check. It's obvious that that Tawree is kind of like shifting away, probably to go check on Kimball, which seems a very obvious thing. But perception check is to see whether they break a bead on the bracelet.
19.
Oh boy. Perceptive motherfucker.
Yeah.
In that case, Tawree, can I also have you do a sleight of hand?
6. That's a nope.
Yeah, it's very obvious to you, Notch, that like Tawree has like stepped away and is fiddling with the bracelet, and it's not like you hear it, but you kind of like
that's a definite like crunchy feel of something being broken. You don't see any mouth movements or anything like that, because that's not particularly how this version of the spell works. But you know that something like has definitely happened.
I take Alix for an aside.
Alix, what's Tawree doing over there? What is that thing on their wrist?
Well, it looks like a bracelet.
I don't know. I don't fully trust these non-dragon helping folk, especially with that bunny that wants to make a deal with. You know, something feels off. I think we need to focus on these eggs.
We should focus on the eggs, yes. I am very much in agreement with that.
And I have an idea.
Okay, what is it?
Uh-oh.
You can dissolve rocks, right?
I don't think so. Let me check, because I'm pretty sure I can't dissolve things. I think we've been over this.
You're not made of acid, are you?
No.
No, we left that in the other character.
No, I can't really dissolve things so much. No. Well, I can dissolve I think we decided that I could dissolve bones because it was funny.
Mm-hmm.
I could dissolve bones if I am eating them, but rocks are very different.
Are you, and if this is too personal, let me know. Are you at all slippery? Like, oily?
Oh, well, I mean, I can be made to be slippery. In fact, I've had many people that I have gone on adventures with that have slipped on me before. It is why many people do not like to adventure with Alix.
And how thin can you make, say, like, your, hands, or whatever you call them?
I could probably...
Grabby things.
I could make them pretty thin. I can also detach one of them to go do things for me, but like very, very basic things. It could not like strangle somebody, but I could go pick something up in another room.
All right, here's what I'm thinking. You know how that rock thing that we used on this skeleton guy here, and don't listen in, skeleton man. Just keep dying.
He just kind of like tries to whistle, despite not having any lips. So he did it.
So there's no way we're gonna get past that magic barrier. That thing's too strong. I don't know what made it or who made it. But what is not strong is the surface that's underneath it. If we could chip it away, we might be able to slide those barriers and move them enough to get around it.
Oh, you don't think it would like expand to meet the area that it is in, like water?
I don't know, but I figure it's worth a try.
All right. Well, what would you like me to do?
I figure between the two of us, if we can somehow clear enough space, enough underneath that right side over there, we might be able to slide it, and you might be able to squeeze around enough. We might be able to get some eggs through a gap.
Oh, I can definitely get through small spaces like that. Yes.
We just need enough space to clear the eggs.
Okay. Let's do it. Let's get the eggs out of here.
That is a beautiful plan. Thank you so much, Casey, for immediately coming in with B. This is how you get around it. Thank you, Casey. Okay.
The Casey's got this.
Yay!
Yeah. The Caseys have got it. On the ground, there is like a very not a massively deep layer, but a kind of thinnish layer of like really like loose enough that you could call it dirt. And you can like very quickly between you dig that away, and right at the edge where the wall is, the ice wall, and you keep digging down until you hit basically bedrock. It's large and flat, and you can see where the ice has like melted a little bit and refrozen and melted a little bit and refrozen. So it's kind of forming like a very solid seal between that and the wall. However, could I get the both of you to make a perception check, please?
Okay, hold on.
7. I wasted my good one on the beads.
5. So just not a great day for me.
Right.
Not a banner day.
Nah, you two are just digging down, you hit bedrock, and you basically clear like a good trench, like maybe 3 feet deep. And you're on bedrock. And the wall, it doesn't look like you can dig underneath it. But I will come back to you because maybe Tawree can save you. Tawree.
Yeah.
As you head off towards where Kimball is obviously still like making tea, you hear Zarissa, and she says, "Kellis can find her people, and she can bring you back whether you want or not. Grab the eggs and flee. I will get there soon. Love you."
Aw, yay!
XO.
XOXO. You walk into the other room and you just kind of hear that at the same time as you take in what you're seeing.
Mhm.
You see what looks like a small common-ish area where there are a couple of beds set up. One obviously has not been used in a while, is much bigger than the other. You can see that there is like a small little fireplace and like a larder of sorts, which has obviously been mostly used up, and you can only see like fresher things on there. And you can see that Kimball is kind of like struggling with like this saucepan, not understanding that it's not going to instantly get hot, set out over this low fire. But you can see that she has like cups and mugs of like different types, different hues, different makes, different sizes, and she's put like a little bit of tea in each. She's just kind of like peering over. Never obviously had the expression, "A watched kettle never boils." So yeah, that's what you see when you come in.
Just to understand this room a little bit better, is the is the ice wall like in the middle of it, like not in the middle, but like an open window, like an atrium that like all these rooms are built around, or is this an entirely different room?
So the room where Kimberlyn is a different room.
Okay.
So the area with the ice has a couple of corridors or rooms that lead off of it. But you can't like walk around like a big ice wall and see inside like this one room. No, it's just an ice wall that's just on one side, and there's obviously a cave system behind it.
Yeah. So Tawree is going to approach Kimball, and like she's like getting on eye level with her and trying to look what she's doing, and then she's going to like in a low voice, so because caves are echoey and stuff, she's gonna ask Kimball like, "Do you know if there's any way into where the eggs are?"
She shrugs and she says, "I don't know exactly, but Papa always said that Dragon Knights should be able to get through the ice wall, but he never did because he didn't want to wake the dragon eggs up on his own, and he never showed me or made me a Dragon Knight. So I don't know how to do any of that. I'm sorry."
That's all right. Maybe my 2 companions can figure something out. Are you okay with the tea? Do you need some help?
I don't know why it's not boiling.
Oh, you need to wait. Just give it a little bit. It's only been a few minutes.
Yeah. Okay. And she kind of like sits down at a little stool and just continues watching the kettle.
Tawree is also going to tell her, we might need to get out of here in a hurry with the eggs. Will you come with us? If we do? Find our way?
I won't have anything else to do here, but I don't know where I'd go.
We'll take you with us.
Do you have
We'll take care of you. Yeah.
For me?
Yeah. If when all of this is over and your duty to the dragon eggs is over, you can come with me if you want to.
I'd like that.
Yeah. My children would like to meet you, I'm pretty sure.
It would be good to play with other kids again.
Oh, definitely. You've been alone in here so long.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on the stove. I need to talk to the other people. We seem to be in a time crush right now.
Just tell me when you're ready for tea. I don't really want to go out there with the skeleton men.
That's understandable. You don't need to see that. What's going on out there?
Thank you.
And
she
Tawree
kind of has a smile.
Yeah, Tawree's gonna go back to the main hall, and I assume that's like in the middle of the two of them digging.
It's obvious that they have managed to dig out a bit of this dirt. You can see that there's you can take a few steps over, see there's bedrock. Could I have you please make a perception check? If not, I'm going to have Kimball come save y'all.
Perception.
Okay, I have an idea. But
16?
You notice that where they're digging, you kind of watch them for a little bit, and occasionally, as you see them digging and leaning forwards, you notice that their weapons, because they're quite long weapons, whenever they get closer to the ice wall, maybe it's melting a bit, but you're not really sure. Maybe it's a trick of the light, or maybe it's just hope. Or condensation, who knows?
I feel like we had something similar going on last time, but with the fires? I have a déjà vu.
I feel silly. I should have thought of this.
So, yeah, Tawree, this is what you see. You stumble upon these two trying to dig their way under the wall, which, by the way, is not a terrible idea, but as soon as other Casey said, oh, this is how it can be solved, I'm like, yeah, all right, genius.
What exactly happens when the weapons come near to the wall? It melts?
It's beginning to melt, just a little bit. It could be mistaken for condensation, just water running down ice, but it sticks out to you at least as a thought, maybe that's what you're seeing.
Well, okay. Tawree is going to take out her spoon and getting close to the wall to see if that does the same thing.
Yeah, so you put your spoon right up to the wall. Your spoon doesn't seem to be doing anything, I'm afraid.
Cats are good at digging. Just gonna keep digging.
Notch. The weapon.
Huh?
Your wait. What do you have? A sword?
My shield with the dragons on it and my shotel.
Yeah, put them close to the wall. It seems to be melting the ice.
Alix.
What?
I don't know why we didn't think of this. Grab your staff. Got my shield.
Right?
I mean, they want us to do this. Press against the...
Do what?
Press them against the wall.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, wherever your weapons and wherever your shield is placed, it looks like the ice wall is beginning to melt. And the moment that you actually put your weapons up or your shield up against the wall itself, it begins to just almost instantly turn to water, and it very quickly begins to melt. And you're kind of in your little 3-foot ditch that you have made, definitely up to your shins are getting a little bit wet now with all of this melt water coming off of this magical ice wall.
Well, at least the water has a place to go now.
Yeah, exactly. You're not going to flood out Kimball's home, so good job. Yeah, it doesn't take long between the pair of you at all, and you'll manage to make an opening through this ice that is large enough for the pair of you to walk through very, very easily. And you very much see an open cave system in front of you. What you see on the other side is everything definitely feels much colder in here. Not just because you spent the last few minutes tunneling through ice, but it's cold here, like you've walked into a fridge or a freezer. The little cave behind you in front of you isn't massively big, but you can see the stalactites down from the ceiling, the stalagmites up from the ground, both made of very dark rock. Directly ahead of you, in an area that's probably 30 feet across, you see that there are these 3 stone egg shapes. Now that you're closer to them, they're definitely not eggs, they are just stone replicas. At the bottom of each of these eggs, where they sit on the ground, you can see that there is what looks like a really beautiful carving representation of what looks like undergrowth or bush around each of them. And as you are looking at the 3 eggs and they make this kind of semicircular shape, you notice that there is what looks like a very dark hole that has clearly been roughly hewn, that seems to go down and opens up and gets wider. That's all you can see from where you immediately walk through.
I would like to use my shield to see if it's leading us down into the hole, or if the eggs are merely camouflaged with some
stone
perception.
Yeah. Both Alix and Notch, the dragon representations on your staff and on your shield definitely seem to be glowing and indicating that you should be heading in the direction where the hole is and not at the stone replica eggs in front of you.
Well, in one hole and now down another.
Are we like? There's now a tunnel leading through the ice wall, and there's a room around us, right?
Yeah, so there's a tunnel through the ice wall, and on the other side of that, there is like this small room with the stalactites and mites, and essentially stone eggs that have been like placed around the like a giant opening, which seems to be leading down further into the earth.
Yeah. Now that Tawree, like I assume Tawree is going to follow them, and now that Tawree can also see that these are not the actual dragon eggs. And after Notch's reaction, she's going to pull Alix and Notch like aside so that from the hallway, like they cannot be seen or heard from the skeleton guy.
Yeah.
And then she's gonna say, "I just got a message that Cal's people can be tracked down with magic. We should definitely take the eggs when we find them and leave this place as fast as we can."
That's probably a good idea. I think maybe if they're tracking that good old bag of bones out there, as long as it's still alive, maybe we should have that thing taken away from here so they're led to somewhere else to buy us a little bit more time.
I can probably do that.
Because I'll be honest, looking at those stalactites and stalagmites, that means that this place has a lot of acid that ate away the floor, which means down that hole could be a labyrinth that we could get lost in real easy. I'm a little nervous.
You should take something like a thread with you. In that case.
A thread or a threat?
Why not both?
A threatening thread.
A thread, like a piece of cloth.
Make sure we find a way back. Yeah, I like that idea. Alix, can you leave a goo trail?
As good adventurers, you should all have rope.
I would also say Tawree, as a mom who needs to constantly fix stuff, she will definitely have thread.
Yeah, 100%. You could definitely have that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Tawree's gonna take that out of the bag.
I think that the thread is better because I do not want to accidentally leave behind too much goo and create a new plasmoid.
That's
also,
fair.
you're gonna run out of Alix at some point.
Yes, that, and also that is how, when you want to create a new plasmoid, you just create one out of you.
So we can clone you? We can make an army of Alixes?
Well, no, they would all be new people. They would have...
You would need to invite so many new players. Don't do it.
They would be, I guess, in the terms of how you would say it, like my children.
But they're going to listen to you, right? Maybe. I don't know. I'm getting too far
I don't know.
into this.
They will
Let's
be
get the
their
string.
own people.
I just like the idea of an army of little mini Alixes that we can use to unleash on something. I'm just thinking strategically right now.
So I think like Tawree can definitely take the guy out and take him a little bit like some way off into the forest and then make her way back with like if she needs to with what's it called, the shadow step.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Before Tawree leaves with Arcantos, I really quickly tell Arcantos,
Hey, so we're letting you live? We're letting you walk away? We're going to take you out of here? I want you to remember maybe a little good grace that we gave you. We may need it in the future. And we can make a deal then.
I will commit to memory everything I've heard and seen here today.
You say that in such a way that makes me not want to let you walk away, but I'm going to trust you for maybe just an inch.
I will remember that also.
Because remember this. Think of your leader, Kells. You think she would ever spare you if the situation was reversed?
Oh, no, she would definitely bring me back and puppet my remains around.
Exactly.
Which I think she's probably going to do with the 4 of you.
Oh. Well. Tawree, just get this thing out of here. I'm done with it.
Yeah, Tawree is going to grab him, and I assume we're gonna have to walk out first. And she's bringing him into the forest, and if she can find something like a river, she will try to make him swim.
Yeah. Yeah, you can, it's not a graceful crossing of this, little stream. It's a bit of a distance off. It takes you a while to get there.
I don't want to make him cross. I want to put him in the river so he gets, washed down somewhere else. So in case Kels is, tracking him, they will come somewhere else, wherever the river is going to.
I mean, it's not like he's going to drown, so I think
No,
that's
that's not my intention. So it's just confusing the GPS.
Yeah, no problem. Absolutely. You set Arcantos to float down the river. On your way back, I'm going to leave our 2 Caseys just for a moment. On your way back, you aren't going to need a perception check for this whatsoever. As you make it back to that clearing right by the entrance to the dragon face carved into this rock, into this mountain, you notice that amongst the snow, it seems that as you're watching it, really big snowflakes, not oh, that's a big snowflake, that's a big unnatural snowflake.
Oh no, Tawree has shrunk.
You notice that some of them begin to, that there seems to be maybe half a dozen of these that seem to pick up and float a few meters forward and then drop back down again, and then with the wind float up and go, and they seem to be definitely heading in the direction of the moor. You also spot what looks like, now that you have met one, a Leonin. You notice that they are wearing very thin, a very thin robe made of hempen material, trying to look unimposing. You notice that they have what looks like knuckle dusters and what looks like a small hand sickle hanging off of their waist. You notice that this person is their fur is completely white, and they have slightly reddened eyes, and they are also making their way towards the dragon moor.
Reddened, like crying?
No, they're an albino.
Oh, okay. And they haven't spotted me, right?
I will make them roll.
Okay.
I don't have my dice here because
I was gonna do a shadow step. Otherwise, I assume I can get past them and into the moor that way.
100%. Your ability would say that. Yeah, you could, if you wanted to, from where you are, maybe a couple of jumps, but in 2 jumps, you could definitely get yourself inside and be ahead of them and inside. Yeah. They do not seem to have spotted you at all. You see that they're kind of pulling their very thin clothes around them as if they're beginning to get quite cold. Mm-hmm. And they are trudging through this knee-high snow to get to where they need to be.
Yeah, so Tawree is gonna get into the cave and catch up to Notch and Alix. I assume you're gonna wait. The 2 of you are either waiting or already going on ahead.
I'd say we're
going on ahead.
Waiting.
Well, one is waiting, one is going on ahead, apparently.
Oh, I didn't hear.
I can throw a conversation out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Meanwhile, elsewhere.
Alix.
Elsewhere.
We don't have a lot of time. I'd like to go down there while the bunny is out. And get this moving as fast as we can. If that necromancer's on their way here, we don't have the time to stand around.
I will send my hand with you in order to help you pick things up, but I myself will stay here to wait for Tawree, because I do not think it is polite to leave them behind. I know you do not trust their bunny, but I trust Tawree.
All right, I trust that. And I'm also appreciative for you lending me a hand.
Alix's hand detaches and crawls up onto your shoulder like thing. It is gooey.
Name of the episode. Name of the episode.
Thing. As Alix, your hand grips onto Notch's shoulder, you notice that behind you hear like a little bit of a scuffle, as if feet trying to make their way through this sloshing water and then up onto the earth behind you on the inside of your room. And Kimball is holding what looks like a really dark rope, and it's quite long. A little bit of a struggle for them, but they seem to be holding it. And she says, "That's cool. Can I come with? I haven't seen dragon eggs before."
For your safety, I think you might want to stay here, but we will use that rope. We're going to bring him back this way anyway, so if there's anything down there, we will let you see it.
You'll check it out before I come down?
Well, we'll bring them up here, because I can climb down the wall with my claws. I got a little bit more traction. I'd rather not put all of our... We don't even know what's going to be down there. I hate to say.
Okay. And she goes over and she like ties the rope around one of like the stalagmites. Yes, one of the stalagmites. Puts like a really good sailor's knot on it. And she hands you like the other end of the bundle of rope. I heard Tawree said that you might want a thread, so this is probably better than something that might break on a rock.
Great. Thanks, kid. Where's my tea?
I'm sorry. Do you want honey and lemon with it?
No, that's okay. Man, I should get going. I was just, little caffeine hit before I go down there, but it's all right.
I can get it. It's okay.
No. You got the rope. That's more important right now.
Alix, do you want your tea?
I am fine.
Okay. And she looks like genuinely like upsetty. Not like, I'm so sad. Like, deflated. That's the word I'm looking for. She looks generally a little bit deflated.
I'll have it when I come back, kid.
Oh, wait.
I'll have it when I come back.
Wait, if, no, I will take the tea. Like, Alix feels so bad.
Okay. And you see her scrambling up the 3-foot hole that you guys have managed to make. She's only quite short, like 3 feet herself. You can see her like scrambling up the other side and making it over to the other room. All right, Notch. Here we go.
Crawling down.
I do have dark vision.
That's good. Holding onto the rope, you make your way into this hole. It's quite steep. If the rope is a definite help and your claws are a definite help, this may be difficult for someone like Kimball, who is not that agile or that large, but you reckon that the three of you, with a little bit of bolstering, a little bit of help, you could do this like descent and this climb back up fairly easily. It gets quite narrow the further down you go. And it is just enough where like your shoulders are definitely scraping the edges as you come out of this very tight area, and you find yourself holding onto the rope above this large, very spherical chamber. It's really smooth, the rocks all around you, and your dark vision allows you to see all of this. There are no there is no stalagmites or stalactites. There is no roughly hewn anything. This is perfectly spherical. As you look down, probably about 30 feet maybe, you can see that there is this... You can see that there are these 3 pointed leafed tree that the leaves are this kind of fiery orange colour, and occasionally there are spots of silver and copper and gold throughout the leaves. The canopy of the tree is so large that you can't really see much underneath it. With your dark vision and the light of the tree, you notice that at the very bottom of this sphere chamber that you find yourself in, you can see that there is definitely a fluid at the bottom of this sphere. Whether it's water or some other mysterious fluid, you can't tell for sure being this far away.
Alix, Handy Alix, are you able to see from this thing? Or talk?
It just does a little like the thing that like that thing does where it just kind of like taps, but it's squishy. So it's splurch, splurch, splurch.
All right. 1 tap that you can see this, 2 taps that you can't.
Can you see through your mage hand? Because it's basically the same as mage hand.
No, you can't.
2 taps.
All right, but you can.
But
hear
apparently
me.
she can hear. They can hear.
I'm going to go with that they can hear, but I'm not giving you any other senses that you should not have.
That's totally. I also think it would.
A sense of taste in the hand.
I also think it makes sense that that it can hear because it's part of Alix as opposed to being like a magical thing. But seeing
Also, it's vibration. You can feel the vibrations, and that's how you interpolate sound.
Yeah, let's do that, because I was like, here's a part of you should be able to see. No, I don't want to give you. That's just ridiculous.
All of a sudden,
All
a
right,
mouth
we'll go
appears
with-
on the hands.
Me. No, that's too complex for your little mage hand. Yeah, like I'd be able to say that you can hear for sure, but yeah, seeing is probably a step too far.
All right, there's a tree down here, big old thing, and there's some fluid underneath it. I don't really trust anything that's water-based. I already, cats and water don't mix, so I don't trust this to begin with. I'm gonna try and make my way down the tree carefully through the trunk. I'll dig in, see if I can get a better view. This is definitely not natural made. Something else made this. I don't know what. There's no way a dragon could ever fit down here.
I scramble to the leaves and kind of dig in my claws into the tree. If I can, I don't know what the bark is made of.
Wood?
Wood. Okay. I didn't know if it had that metallic sheen that the leaves had or not.
Right, yeah, getcha. I'm sorry. For me, it's like, what? Yeah, you can make your way onto the canopy and you find like firm footing on like what is obviously a very sturdy branch, and you'll manage to make your way down this tree, and you find that at the base of the tree, having climbed down the bark, which is this kind of really like silvery looking bark with like where the bark splits and breaks, you can see a very dark wood underneath it. You find that you have landed on a kind of grassy hill, even though it can't really be a big hill because it's in a very small sphere. You notice that the water is kind of lapping at the edge of this tiny island where this giant tree is, and it looks like water. Unless you taste it and try it, I'm going to tell you it looks like water, and it seems to be lapping very gently against the side of this island. On the one side of the tree, not where you landed, on one side of the tree, there is what looks like a 4-foot tall dying bush. There aren't any leaves on it. All of the wood and the branches are really withered and slightly deformed and definitely have seen better days. At the bottom of this withered bush, you can see that there are 7 small egg shapes of various different colours, and the shells are of slightly different textures to one another. They seem to be circling this bush, and circling the eggs are a series of small quartz stones that create this kind of crystalline-looking circle around the eggs and around the bush. directly.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
From my dragon lore and knowledge, does any of this look familiar?
I'm going to need you to take a history check.
A 3. I know nothing.
Nah.
I know nothing.
Nah. You're not even sure you know what a dragon is right now. No, you have no idea.
Is that a
Genuinely
bush?
have no idea.
Not just standing there like.
This is all just completely like. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say you can see without any further perception checks or any further history checks. This is what you find.
I relay what I've seen for the brevity of time to the goo that is Alix next to me and ask,
Alix, do you remember anything like this from your dragon schooling? Does this look or sound familiar to you? Should I? No. 1 tap, yes. 2 taps, no.
Does it?
History check, my friend.
Okay.
I'm relying on a second history check. That's what I'm doing here. I'm phoning a friend
23.
who wants to be a millionaire.
You say 43.
23.
Okay, it's like that's an actual number you can have in D&D.
That's what I'm talking about.
On
Hey,
a
Casey,
23.
wouldn't you say that Alex's comes in handy?
Ah.
Hey.
I'm restraining a pun right now because it's just gross. On a 23, you would know that you would definitely have heard that there are very specific rituals in which you can make a dragon egg hatch. And it very much relies on a sentient being there to interact with the egg and to make it hatch. It's basically essential in a dragon's life cycle. You have heard of bushes and trees being related to dragons and the creation of them from stories from way back when, you know, folk tales, fairy tales about dragons being wishes from trees. So it doesn't surprise you at all that there is a tree and that there is a bush here. Which one, why they are encircling the bush, you don't know.
Which came first, the tree or the dragon egg?
You know that the quartz is often used in a lot of ritual magics. And all you really have heard and picked up that they're quartz, that doesn't really tell you much without being able to see them specifically. But yeah, like, this sounds roughly right. It sounds roughly like you all should be getting involved one way or another. Yeah, like, that's what you have with your history check, I'm afraid.
So that would be 1 tap?
Yeah, 1 tap.
Yep, all that in 1 tap.
All right. That was a deep tap, so I think it means something. All right.
I got my shield with me, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I've made it as far as I can. I'm going to have to channel you once more. Let me know what you want. How do I proceed? I don't know if I was to remove the eggs from this place, whether they will ever hatch. Or if you want me to do something here, and this is the place to do it. I need to know. Help me, dragon. You are my only hope.
So I use my channel divinity.
Okay. The last time you received a vision and spoke with the 3, they told you it was the last time they'd ever be able to talk with you. You see the 4 dragons on your shield light up. They create this beam of light. And you see the image of a leaf, identical to the ones on the tree above you. You see a leaf almost in the reverse of falling from a bush, attaching itself to a bush. And you see an egg being cradled by 2 hands.
Couldn't just speak plain, you could you, dragons? Oh, man.
You used your one shot to talk with them already, I'm afraid. All right. I'm going to leave our KCs here. Tawree, what do you want to do?
She's hurrying back through the tunnels to get back with the other two, and like inform them that there is another Leonin out there.
Yep, that is something that I think is the perfect time to have come back. Is that time? Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, Alix, you hear and then see Tawree arrive very, very quickly. Yeah, absolutely.
Tawree's gonna say, there is another person coming this way into the cave. I'm not entirely sure who they are. They are another Leonin, another creature like our friend down there. I don't know what their intention here is. We should probably go after Notch, but I don't want to leave Kimball out here alone when the person comes here.
It is a very difficult situation.
Is there a way for us to communicate with each other if you go down there?
You could shout down the hall.
Hey, Leonin, we're over here.
It is an option. You could shout back and forth. It would be a stretch to hear, but it is something that you could do.
I would prefer a quiet option. We could probably maybe take Kimball with us down there.
I do not.
Do you think it's safe down there?
I do not know.
Oh, down in the hole?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not there. I'm sorry.
Yes, Phantom Voice in the hole.
I mean, are they far enough to...
safe down there!
Can they could call down. It's a hall. It would echo. Like, you can hear everything in a cave.
Yeah, but what if there is, like, I don't know, if we don't know what it's looking like down there from our perspective. What if we cause a landslide? What if the thing collapses?
And
what if there's a monster that wakes you up?
What if it echoes out of the cave so the person breaching the cave could know what you're doing?
But Alix, I've been talking to Alix's protoplasm, so Alix would know, like, my situation and what I'm seeing right now.
Yeah, I kind of know what's going on, but I don't actually, I don't know what's further down the cave.
So there, I'm going to assume you're going to relay that to...
Oh, yeah, Alix is going to relay the things that have been said to their hand, and explain that their hand is down there with Notch.
I'm going to say that as the pair of you are topside and Kimball is kind of like hovering nearby, you do hear like a really loud like crash and a bang, as if like rubble has begun to fall from a ceiling somewhere much further in the cave. Basically, one of the traps has gone off.
Oh. I would assume that's the visitor. Is there any way you can let Notch know that there is someone coming?
Oh, yes. Okay. Notch, where you are, the hand starts tapping very urgently on you.
What? What is it?
Points up.
Oh, something's going on up there. Right?
It wags its finger like a nod.
All right. So we don't have much time.
It shakes its finger. The hand shakes like a no.
Okay, then we gotta do this fast. All right. Alix, you can hear me. You know what? You can hear me very clearly, right?
Taps once.
I was able to channel something from the dragon side, is all I can describe it. They showed me something. And the only way I think we can get these eggs out of here is with the use of the tree. So I have this feeling that we only can take them out of this place if we use the leaves between us. But I can't put them on my hands, so I'm going to need your help to cover my hands, and together with the leaves between us, I think we can remove them from this place.
Nods. Alix up in the up part relays this to Tawree.
What? I don't understand why you needed something, but why you needed Alix's goo between your hands and the leaves?
Because the leaves won't stick to my hands. Like, they would just fall off. So by having the Alix in between, we could put the leaves on the goo, and then we have a in between my hands.
I am
the leaves
sticky.
can touch the eggs. Yeah.
It's a good idea.
Okay.
Alix,
Just go with it.
Alix up in the up nods and detaches Alix's. Can I detach my other hand and send it down?
Yeah, sure, fuck it, why not?
Down the black rope.
Yeah, down the black rope comes
Kimball's
another
like-
gooey hand.
Wide-eyed, looking at you like, that's really, really handy and cool.
Handy.
Yeah, like you can crawl your other hand down the rope. You'll be able to feel the branches and the leaves, and like, yeah, you could definitely find Notch again by the virtue like your other hand is there. Absolutely, you can. I'm going to say for this particular moment in this particular instance, yes, you can do this, no problem.
I raise my hands with, I holding on with one arm still on the rope, and I raise my hand into the leaves and
Alix, grab a whole bunch of those leaves, enough to cover us the best we can. I'll hold on to the rope with my lower paws and legs. Actually, I'm on the tree, so never mind that. I got my claws dug in deep, so just help me out here. I'm gonna kind of go down best I can. Shimmy.
I don't understand this entire imagery. What the fuck is happening?
I think Notch is wearing Alex's hand like a glove.
Yes.
But what was that with the leaves? Like,
So
are there eggs down there?
So
Yeah.
So there are eggs down
Okay.
here within the circle of quartz, which I imagine is some sort of ritual magic.
Yeah.
And by putting the leaves on our hands, I believe we'll be able to pass through whatever protective barrier may be there. Because
Oh, okay.
as using the tree as a conduit, because if it's familiar with itself, it might be able to work.
I'm explaining this to Alix hands to relay
yeah.
to Tawree up there.
Yes.
Mhm.
Because I knew that no one would ever fully understand why have goo and leaves covering my hands in a very weird way while dangling off a tree with my two paws wrapped around, swinging upside down to go to this thing so that I don't touch anything on the floor because I don't trust it because I'm a cat that doesn't like water.
This is amazing.
I think at this point, like, Tawree's just gonna shake her head and gonna be to Alix. Take care of Kimball if anything happens. I'm going down there. Tawree's gonna descend.
Yeah, you definitely feel like extra weight on the rope. It's going to hold, but you're definitely aware that someone is climbing down. So yeah, Tawree, you can see a disturbance in the canopy of the tree, as you can see, like, whatever this,
I imagine,
whatever this is.
I imagine that you might need some kind of bag or whatever to put him in, depending on how many eggs there are, or like
Yeah,
a second hand, a second pair of hands,
a second pair of hands.
third hand eggs. I don't know.
How far is Tawree from Notch now?
Let's say like 5 feet. Like, it's not like Tawree's a little smaller than Notch, so like getting through that like tight area is just like it's a lot easier for Tawree for sure. Not that far at all.
What are you doing here?
I thought you might need some help.
Can't you see? I've got this handled.
And my hands are covered in goo and leaves in a very weird looking way.
How many eggs are there?
You look down and you see that kind of like decrepit old bush surrounded by what looks like 7 eggs. They're different colors and they have different textures
Okay.
to the shells. And then there is
Yeah.
a ring of quartz around them as well.
I don't think you would be able to carry all of them up by yourself. There are 7 of them. You only have 2 hands, and you need at least 1 for climbing.
Fair enough. I was going to put him in my chainmail and wrap it up and have these hands.
Not your... No! No! They need to be... Have you never handled an egg? And Tawree's going to take her backpack and, like, open it up. So, like, is it big enough to fit the eggs in there? If we put some leaves in there as a cushion?
You could probably fit like 4 of them in there, but any more than that, you're risking like crushing them.
Yeah,
like,
how
getting
big are
them
they?
back up the.
Ostrich eggs?
I don't know how big that is.
This big.
Sure, yeah, let's go with that because you guys seem to know what that is.
We're gonna hat ourselves on ostrich.
Yeah, about the size of an ostrich egg. Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Do we need to cushion it? Do we need the leaves to cushion this?
I don't think that we can touch them directly without the use of the tree. I had a vision from the dragons that these have to be handled in a certain way, and I don't know why. But, I mean, they've led us here so far.
Well, if you figured out a way to touch them, put some in the bag and then put the eggs on top of them.
Well, I don't know if this is going to work, but we can try. I'll give you some eggs, and then I can put the rest in my chainmail, and then use Alix's goo to cushion them. But we'll fill yours with leaves, because who knows, maybe this leaf will come in handy.
Yeah.
Are there any seeds?
What I'm thinking.
Alix, you hear what sounds like and Kimball looks up at you and she says, I think they just activated the arrow traps.
Oh, goodness.
Oh. Tawree should be able to say something to Notch about that. We should hurry. There was someone on that was coming to this cave. A white person that was like you, like a person that looked like you, but in white.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, all white fur, a Lionel.
Yeah, yes, like you, but like their eyes were red.
Well, I was a little worried for time, but I think we're gonna be okay. That's Cormac. But last time I saw Cormac they weren't themselves. Okay, we might have to hurry this up. All right, let's do this.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah. Let's do it.
If anything happens to me, fur balls.
And I just reach my hands in to grab the eggs with the leaves and
right.
Alix's goo.
Can I say I have the spoon ready to do the thing like when you know how like when an electrician touches a
the whacking stick, yes,
circuit,
the whacking stick to knock me away,
just to whack you away.
Yeah. Okay, I need to know I get this exactly correct because this does matter. Notch's hand covered completely in Alix, which is covered in leaves from the tree that you just climbed down. And you have that on both hands, and you're reaching to grab hold of the egg whilst hung upside down from the tree, just because you're not putting your feet on the floor.
Dangling.
Okay, great. Alix, you completely disappear. And I will deal with you in a minute.
What the fuck?
Uh-oh.
So the goo on your hands and the leaves completely disappear. The egg that you were reaching for, as soon as you touch them with the leaves with Alix, completely disappears as well. You are left there with your hands just kind of swinging through empty space. And Alix, from up above, also completely disappears from Kimball's view, and you do hear a shout of, like, kind of a little bit of panic from above you, which you would assume to be Kimball.
Kimball? Is everything all right?
Alix disappeared! You hear that echoing down the chamber.
Oh, no.
Crap! Fur balls!
I think the people are getting closer. Can I come down now, please?
There are no eggs in sight now.
Only one of them has disappeared, and that's the one that you tried to reach for, so there are 6 others.
I mean, yeah, it's probably safer down here. What happened to Alix?
You hear and feel like the shuddering of the rope as someone like very uncomfortably tries to climb down, but she does it in good quick order. She's like, I was talking to Alix and then they just disappeared.
Oh no.
Did I do that?
I don't know, did
so.
you?
The parts of Alix on your hand also disappeared. It seems like a weird coincidence that both parts disappeared independently of each other.
Uh-oh.
So Alix's hands aren't here?
No.
You see that Kimball climbs down the rope, she passes both of you and just lands on the ground.
I was gonna offer her to crawl on my back or something. I wasn't sure why we were just hanging on in the air.
She's on a mound of earth which has a tree on it and a strange assortment, and the water is at the edge. She's not scared of water.
Tawree isn't either, so seeing that, she just assumed that the ground was not safe. So she's going to pass Notch up on the ground.
Be careful of the water. I don't trust it, but at this point, I don't know anything. I'm worried about where our gooey friend went.
Is there anything? I assumed we were hanging kind of sideways alongside the tree somewhere.
Yeah.
Is there anything that we can see from the ground? I don't know, some kind of scripture or whatever, or symbolism stuff.
Yeah,
not symbolism, but
yeah. As you kind of landed, and you can actually look at the bole of the tree properly now.
Yeah.
You notice that there are carvings into the tree itself. They
rude. Like hearts and
XOXO
names.
R+T or whatever the Game of Thrones bullshit was. You notice that carved into the bark, into the silvery bark, you see dark words carved. And you see, I say dark words, you see what looks like a name. And then you see symbols that have been carved into the tree. You see a carving of a leaf, which is a very crude imitation of the leaves of the tree that you just climbed down. You see that there is a drawing of the bush surrounded by eggs, surrounded by the quartz. You see that there is an image of leaves being applied with hands to the egg. And you see that the next image appears to be a crossroads. And at the edge of each of these crossroads, at the termination of each, there appears to be other crude drawings of trees. And that's kind of it.
Is this a carving of the tree of what just happened?
Sort of, with one additional step, yes.
The crossroads.
Which you didn't see in your
Vision.
I was going to say projection or hologram, but I'm not going there. You brought up that Star Wars reference, man. In your vision, but this shows the next step after touching the eggs.
Did I understand correctly that there was text in language stuff?
Yeah, it appears to be a name.
Can I read that?
Yeah.
No, wait, Tawree can't read.
Can I read it? I can read orc.
You can't get off the tree though. You're too scared. So Tawree's gonna look over her shoulder. She's gonna approach the tree, look at the symbols, and if Kimball is not coming over, then she's gonna do the come over here motion.
Yeah, she comes over.
Yeah. Can you read this?
What are you seeing?
There is text over here and drawings of. It looks like a instruction menu.
Don't tell me there were instructions here the whole time. Oh.
Out of defeat and just to see that they are fine where they're standing, Notch has crawled down and is now with them safely to see what's on the tree.
You begin to see everything that was on that I previously described. The name that has been carved in there is Tawree, which is DJANTOR, and I'll put that in the chat for you guys.
Oh, it's 2 words.
Yeah. You could both take a history check, and I'll make Kimball roll one as well, although I don't think she has any chance.
I don't think Tawree would know anything
either. I have
either.
an 11.
A 12.
Yep, alas not.
Well, this looks like the thing we just did, right? With this
It looks like it.
John
It looks
Tor. This
whatever that means.
This crossroad thing's at the bottom. What exactly does that mean?
Maybe it's that maze that you were anticipating earlier? I'm sorry, Kimball.
I think it's a name. I think it's a really old name.
Do you know something about the name?
I think it might be one of the first Dragon Keeper people,
Okay.
but I might be wrong. My dad would know more.
Well, he's not here, so...
She looks like even more sad now. Her eyes are definitely looking down. Her shoulders kind of like pinched a little.
Oh, Tawree's gonna elbow Notch.
Well, I mean, you obviously spent a lot of time with your dad, and he was a keeper of this place for a long time. Would there be anything that you can remember of him describing anything like this? A way he handled these things before? Because obviously Alix isn't here. I don't know where they went. I mean, short of me trying to grab another one, which I don't want to do right now, we're picking at straws here. And also we got somebody leading up our rear, so we got to think of this in a hurry.
I think maybe it's to do with the... So the images, they show you what you have to do, right? It doesn't just show you taking the eggs and running away with them to make the dragon hatch. I would guess that all of these things tell you how to hatch a dragon. And this one here, and she points on the crossroads, that might be another step. Like another part of the trial or the quest or whatever you want to call it. Otherwise, we could just take the 6 eggs and leave and... Well, I'm going to try it.
You're going to try it. I mean, you are.
Well, we can't leave Alix and if this is right, it looks like that when you do that, you go to these crossroad things, and then there's another thing that happens, and we can't leave Alix. Otherwise, we can just take the eggs and go, and then we'll never hatch another dragon. And I
Tawree's gonna put her hands on her shoulder to calm her down.
She does a little bit. She does like a...
I think you are right. I think we should definitely also follow Alix. We cannot leave them alone.
No.
So it seems to me...
But I don't think that you should be the next doing it.
I will go
Just in
next.
case.
I mean, it seems the most likely scenario right now. It seems that whenever you touch these eggs, regardless of the tree with the leaves, maybe I'll put a couple leaves between my fingers just as a failsafe, but whatever touches the eggs goes with it somewhere. And that is the crossroads that we'll have to meet. I think we can only take as many eggs as there are us here. It's my guess, but it's worth a try. What's your favorite color?
You could try putting your hands on 2 eggs and see if that works.
The vision I saw,
and correct me if I'm wrong, was 2 hands touching 1 egg, correct?
Yes, it was, yeah.
I don't think you should do that, because if that were the case and it takes you to 2 separate places, I don't want to see that visual. I say play it safe. 1 to 1. 2 hands to 1, All agree?
I guess I am too used to having 2 kids around.
All right, here we go.
Notch grabs some leaves.
Yeah, Kimball kind of scurries up the tree really quickly and just takes handfuls of leaves. She doesn't know how many she's supposed to have, so she just takes loads.
This is a weird question, but does the tree have any fruit or seeds of any kind?
Take a perception check.
It's winter.
11.
It is winter, yeah. 11. You don't notice any.
Tawree, do you see any seeds or anything in the tree? I'm just curious. Anything besides leaves?
Sure, go ahead.
Tawree is gonna be skeptical because it do be winter, but I guess
this is a tree inside a sphere with no natural sunlight. So,
ooh, 25.
You notice that, pretty high up in the canopy, you notice that there are these small kind of acorn-looking things. They are a very dark red coloured. It's kind of like an acorn, but like slightly smaller and dark red in colour. You only spot like maybe 2.
Yeah, Tawree is gonna point up to them and gonna say, "Over there, there's little acorns. They're red. See them?"
Cobalt, can you grab those up there while you're up there?
Okay. And she kind of like scurries over. She pulls the 2 of them. As she puts her hand on one and like begins to like tug at it, like she suddenly freezes in place. And then she kind of lets go, and all these leaves like she was holding on to begin to like cascade down on top of your heads. She's like, I don't think that's a good idea.
Okay, I'll trust the kid.
Yeah.
She has a name, you know. You don't need to call her by what she is.
Hey, kid, you don't like me calling you kid?
I called her kobold earlier.
She drops on the floor right next to you. Her hands filled with leaves again. She says, I prefer being called Kimball.
Kimball, sorry. Kobold, I don't know where that came from.
It's okay. Mr. Notch, it's fine. Okay, I'm gonna try. And she runs over and she puts her hands filled with leaves on the egg.
No.
And completely disappears with the egg.
Kimball, no.
Wait,
I told you to wait.
what the hell is happening right now?
They're coming after you, Alix. We're gonna avenge you.
Very quickly, I do the same because I don't want Cobalt / Kimball to get too far ahead.
I thought you would have Kimballed.
Kimball.
Yeah, Tawree's gonna quickly grab some leaves and quickly make a grab for an egg.
Yep. And with that, you 2 disappear. Alix, we're with you.
Yes, hello.
Hello.
Where am I?
A very good question. As you are one moment looking at Kimball, who is trying to say something and point at the sounds that you're hearing of people approaching, you suddenly just feel this feeling in your chest, like a really big heartbeat that is the entirety of your body. And you find yourself in the middle of a crossroads. It's a well-paved crossroads. Clearly someone has put effort into making sure that this is quite flat, and all of like the little divots between the stones that have been laid have been filled really well, so it's very, very smooth everywhere you look. It's this kind of like pinkish coloured rock. At the edges of this thin road, you can see that there are these small bushes that have been planted. They're about 4 feet high, and if you could have seen them, roughly the same height as the bush that the eggs were actually around. They line this path completely. In one direction, straight ahead of you, let's say, you see what looks like an archway covered in roses. And beyond that, darkness. And as you look around at the end of each of these different pathways, you see a very similar scene. And you notice that at the entrance to each of these archways covered in roses with nothing but darkness shown beyond them, you can see that each of them has like this small wooden sign with something written upon it. But that is, alas, you can't read that from here. In your hands, or at least within your mass, you can see that there is an ostrich-sized egg. It has a kind of rough texture to it. And what colour do you want it to be?
Pink?
As you look around a bit, walking from, as if they're walking towards you and suddenly slowly begin to appear within your vision, ghostly at first and then almost completely solid, almost not see-through, but just a little bit see-through. You see that there is what looks like a young man. A young human man with a dark goatee and moustache. You can see that he has like really vivid green and blue eyes, each a different color. And he has short cropped dark hair. He is wearing what looks like a farmer's smock. Dungarees, that's the word I was looking for. It's like he's wearing dungarees and a kind of dark red shirt. He seems to be like rubbing his hands on his legs as he comes towards you, rubbing off dirt. And he looks at you and smiles.
Hello?
Good greetings.
I'm sure it is.
Can I help you?
Yes, hello. Where am I?
Ah, yes. You are at the crossroads.
What is
And he smiles
what
again.
is the crossroads?
It's the crossroads that decides the fate of the egg that you're holding, my dear.
Oh, well, I would like the fate of the egg to be that it hatches and becomes a dragon.
I assume that you're willing to be this particular creature's... What's the word that you folks use these days? Guardian, keeper, parent, archlord nemesis?
Well, definitely not that last one. I'm happy to be its guardian, yes.
Guardian. I'll remember that. Not last time I had one of these, they decided to call them Arch Knights or some rubbish title. Doesn't really matter. Well, as a Dragon Guardian, you get to choose which one of these pathways you want to start on. I mean, once you go through one portal, that's no turning back, I'm afraid. And if you don't complete its tasks or its bidding or its whatever is asked of you, the egg won't hatch, I'm afraid. And you'll have to start the whole process again if you are lucky enough to come across a large amount of eggs.
Well, I think we have 3.
Oh, how wonderful. What do you mean we?
So my friends and we found the eggs and we are trying to save them before a necromancer comes to destroy them. Or some such thing. I just know there's a necromancer coming and yeah.
Well, that's the life, isn't it? Well, let me...
Wait, is that what...
Well,
Anyway, what are these paths?
so, well, let me have a quick think. It's been a while since I've been here. I do apologize. This one... Nope, this one over here. This one over here. You may notice that the roses climbing over this are kind of silvery and metallic in colour. Now that requires a great feat of strength and a heart full of vigour and fight. This one over here, nope, this one, and they point in a different direction. You may notice that there are the kind of fiery orange roses that climb over, very beautifully manicured, you must say to me. I have been looking after these for a while. This one it's all about the gift of the gab, of being able to persuade your way into being allowed to be such a guardian. That's if that's for you. This one over here, you may notice that the roses here are dark red. Some people think that they're black, but they're not. They're actually red, and I even got a sneaky purple one in there, actually. That one's a conversation, a bargain to be struck, much like warlocks. Are you aware of warlocks?
They are magical people.
Oh dear. Well, it's a magical bargain, let's put it like that. And this one over here, and they point off in another direction. You may notice that the roses are petrified, dead. Actually, that's those who value knowledge and understanding and figure out the way in the world works. That's the path for them. But unfortunately, it's a very difficult path now. something happened in the material plane and there's nothing left of what should be there. I think you may accidentally be dealing directly with a god when you do with that one, so I don't recommend that one for sure. But if knowledge is your thing, maybe you should give it a shot. I mean, the dragons are all but dead, so why not take that option? Have I helped at all?
What was the second one again?
Yes, this one with the orangey type roses. That's all about persuasion. It's about using the gift of the gap to secure your guardianship over such an egg.
Okay. I'm gonna go with the one where I make a deal.
When you said friends, my grasp of your common tongue is not quite what it used to be. Friends being more than two or more, right?
With it, yes. Yeah, well, specifically in my case, it is 2 friends.
Okay, I'm only expecting 2. That's wonderful. Okay, well, lovely to know.
Yeah,
yes.
I'll go in the path where I make a deal because I am not very good at talking, I am not very bright, and I am not very strong.
Oh, I'm sure you're quite strong to have gotten this far. And, only a bright person would actually know the supposed limitations of themselves. Don't give yourself such a hard time, my lovely.
Yeah, I'm going to go make a deal.
Okay. Well, I shall wait here patiently for when you finish, or if you fail, which you won't. I'm sure you'll be able to come up with something. I'll just wait here for your friends when they turn up. No problem.
Okay.
Have fun. Enjoy.
Thank you, I will. Can I take the egg with me, or do I have to leave it with you?
Oh, no, you should absolutely take it with you. I've had my time with the eggs. I've had my time with dragons. Now I'm just here.
Okay, well, thank you. I'm going to go do this.
You're welcome.
And I think that I remember that you don't go over 100.
100 degrees?
I don't know. And then walks into the path.
Yeah. As you make your way along the path, you hear basically what sounds like a gong going off, and you hear as you hear someone arriving at the crossroads.
What?
Alix?
What? Wait, hold on.
You see Kimball there.
Kimball?
Holding what looks like a dragon egg.
Wait, Kimball, you should not be here.
Well, we didn't know where you'd gone, and I didn't want to leave you all alone, and I didn't want the dragon eggs not to hatch, so Mr. Notch and Tawree were being protective, and I decided to be naughty. I'm sorry. You're going to yell at me too?
No, I'm not going to yell at you. I'm just you are very young, and this is probably dangerous because it involves dragons.
Oh, it does. It is quite dangerous. At that moment, you hear another gong going off as Notch, you arrive in the middle of this scene, kind of right next to where Kimball is holding this egg very closely to her chest.
Oh, that'll wake you up. Alix, you're here. I'm glad to see you here, and I gotta be honest, there, Cobalt Kimball. Yeah, I think you should have waited.
And exactly that moment, Tawree comes through also, a loud gong announcing your presence.
Alix, Kimball, are you both all right?
Oh, I am perfectly fine. This is the crossroads. We get to hatch our dragons.
Well, I'm glad that you're all right. Tawree's gonna look around.
Yeah, you see the pathways, and you see the different archways with the kind of darknesses at the end of them, and what looks like small placards next to each. And yeah, you see the young man who is mostly solid, a tiny bit see through.
Who are you?
This is let me guess, Jean Tor.
How did you guess?
Hey.
Oh.
Is my trial over? Did I pass?
No, but it is a wonderful idea of thinking that just my name alone should be enough to hatch a dragon. Oh, so silly.
Oh,
I
you,
mean,
you can't,
yes,
you
I
can't
do
help
have
me, hurt me for trying.
certain powers to make these things happen, but what would the fun in that be? Who are... You said friends. Implied just two of you. There happens to be three. What's going on here?
Right. Well, my friend Kimball, I did not assume would be coming because Kimball is very young, and I did not think that it would be that this would be something that they would be doing. But I am very happy and also kind of concerned to see them here.
With that, you see that the John kind of like bends down on one knee to talk to Kimball and says, "Oh, don't you worry. Yes, hatching a dragon is it is a little bit dangerous, like quite dangerous actually. Depending on which option you decide to go with. That's another point. I was far younger than you when I helped the dragons be created, and well." I didn't turn out exactly fine, but for all things considered, I'm now the guardian of the crossroads, so, that's the way life goes. Don't worry, you'll be absolutely fine, and if there's any real problems, I'll make sure to step in and make sure that you're all okay. And I can guide you through some of the... nudge you towards the slightly less dangerous option, if that's what you want to do. If you really want to make a dragon, that's just entirely your choice. Don't let these adults tell you what to do. I mean, from the sounds of it, you're quite in trouble with two of them already, so go on, I can help.
Hey, Kimball, why don't you ask good old Jean Tor there what path is best for you? Considering we don't know much about these trials, it might be a good idea to let Jean Tor pick for us.
Oh, I already picked.
Oh. Well, then too late. Sorry.
No problem. Let me start this again, and I'll Kimball is it? Yes. I will I'll look after Kimball. You're all fully grown adults. You should better look after yourselves. I will not be picking your past for you. What do I look like? Guardian, not a guide.
All right,
so,
option 2.
Over there, there is the metallic down this option. That's strength of arms and fight of spirit. That one is quite dangerous, but can also be considered the simpler of all the options. There is this one over here, which... with the orange, this one is all about persuasion, a gift of the gab, of persuading whatever is there to allow you to become, word you're using, guardian? Yes, guardian of your dragons. And this one over here, which is the one that I believe Alix is going to, that I believe our first companion here is going to, that's a bargain. And if you're aware of what a warlock is.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Oh,
Magic's
great. Well, that's the path you'd want to take if you're inclined in making that sort of a bargain or a deal. And this one over here with the slightly regretfully deader roses, there was a real world thing that kind of made that very difficult path. It is the least dangerous, but it is very difficult. I think you'd be dealing directly with the gods to make that one happen now. Provided, of course, they answer the call and just don't leave you hanging there in the middle of the material plane somewhere completely unknown. Well, unknown to you, completely known to me, of course.
Well, don't sell it too bad, you know.
Yeah, that's...
All right, so what are you thinking? Oh. I think I know my choice, but I'm curious of where you're going.
I'm not particularly strong, and I'm not particularly smart, and I already have someone with whom I've made a couple of deals with, and I don't think crossing those would be a good option. I might have to go with the persuasion path.
You know, I was leaning in that direction myself. Considering I almost got the dragon just from, meeting John Tor here. But yeah, that's another story.
Yes, of course you did.
Yeah. So,
we're so close.
I think I let me see what the shield says.
I hold up my shield to see if it gives me any guidance.
I haven't seen those in such a long time.
Yeah, as you can see, is this enough? You see that they give me the qualifications for I am a protector already, you know?
Of course. Well, you're not persuading me, so don't wish your talents on me, I'm afraid.
Can't hate a cat for trying.
I'm afraid you're relics. Oh, there's only 2 of you that have a relics. How strange. I would have thought more of you were actually dragon guardians. The word used, yes, guardians. Oh,
they're in training.
Strange. Yes. I understand why Kimble is here now.
I mean, she's part dragon in a way.
Guardian.
And what are you?
I want to help bring the dragons into the world so we can save the world, so my kids will have a world to live in.
With that, you see him kind of like this hyperactive pose, just kind of like immediately like relaxes down and like he nods and says, yes, parenthood. Then you should take whichever option doesn't put you physically in danger.
Isn't there just one option that would do that?
Well, persuasion is a good one. The path that is more difficult, but is far safer, and I'll be taking young Kimble along. That also doesn't put you in any physical danger. A bargain, it could have long-term effects, depending, of course, completely on your bargain. Of course, you could bargain for literally nothing. I don't. That's not the option I took.
Maybe the dead roses. Dead roses looks like a good option for you. I don't know.
The smartest path? No. Tawree not smart. Tawree can't even read.
Oh.
Tawree just doing her best.
Yes, I'm afraid that your relics won't really work here with much guidance. This is about you and your bond with... I assume none of you are already bonded to a dragon, correct?
Not yet, no.
Unless you count my children.
I picked a purple egg.
Thank you.
Sorry, that took me by fucking surprise. I don't know what I was expecting Notch to say, but it sure wasn't the color of his age.
I picked a purple egg. Okay, so you're not bonded with a dragon. Obviously bonded with your children, but that's not quite what I was asking. And he gestures at Notch.
I rather like the purple egg. Grown quite fond of it in the 2.5 minutes that we've had together.
No, he's imprinted on the egg.
He puts a hand like to his forehead and just like, You're not bonded to a currently alive dragon.
I gave it a name. It's Firecracker.
Oh my gosh. Okay, fine. I need to write that down as a name. Good job. Well, that's good. I don't need to worry about any of you. Okay, that's fine. Let's completely ignore that option then. I don't even need to talk about this since you're... Okay, wonderful. It is entirely up to you which path. I can offer you some sort of guidance, but beyond that, I can't really tell you exactly what to expect. I'm sorry.
All right, good luck, everybody. I'm going down path 1.
You want to go down the fighting path? Bold.
Okay.
Notch is a very good fighter.
I mean, Jean-Tor, I asked for your guidance, and you have persuaded me to go to number 2, Orange, that persuasion side. I'm going to go over there now. So,
persuasion? Okay.
Yeah, I'll go with that one. Goodbye, everybody. Good luck.
Oh, no. Just watch. We're going to be in a persuasion fight. Persuasion off.
I bob the egg as if it's waving goodbye.
I bob my egg back at you.
I am sure you'll make wonderful guardians. Oh, boy. Kimble, do not pay attention to any of these. Let me get you through this. Don't worry. Okay.
Why does she get a cheat code?
Kassir,
Yeah.
what color is Tawree's egg?
I would assume she would have gone for something that is whitish, like Daruk, because she feels kind of sorry for him.
Oh,
He was a good dragon.
yeah. Oh. Okay. You see, in each of you make your way along your respective paths. And you hear that John is just talking away to Kimball, who seems to be very slowly opening up, and you can see that she keeps looking like over her shoulder at the three of you. But she has her arms determinedly wrapped around the egg, and you see she takes a very deep breath, and then she steps through the dark portal.
What color did
all
Kimball
right.
take?
Question is, who wants to go first?
I was considering like asking what happens when we get at the end of the path. Like, do we
Oh yeah,
get
we can
back
do that
together
before you leave.
again? Yeah. What happens when we are done with the trial? Will we all come back here?
In theory, once you are either complete with your, regardless of how things turn out, you should either be offered an option to return back here, or you'll see a beautiful archway very similar to this. You'll always find an archway, very close to wherever it is you are, even if you aren't actually offered where, because I believe that some of the things you encounter may be a tad rude or a tad dead after you've killed them. So there'll always be an archway, and it'll always be dark, and you'll always be able to go through it, and it should bring you back here. Otherwise, whatever entity or being you may be talking with, persuading with, or bargaining with, should be able to pop you straight back in here. Much like you did just now.
All right. Take good care of Kimball.
Of course I will. Don't worry, Kimball.
Kimball, what
I'm
egg
sure
did
we've
you
got
get?
this. Green.
Cool.
Bye.
Good luck, kid.
Good luck. You got this.
And with that, you see John and Kimball step through the dark portal. Yeah. Who wants to go first?
She gets help and we don't. All right, we're on our own.
Can't we just flash forward?
You want to see Kimball come back out, like with the egg or not?
Well, if you want, I will step forward and go first. I figure I got you all into this mess. Kinda.
Well, we're also gonna go through there one at a time.
How about we all just go at the
At
same
some point.
time?
Sure.
All right.
Sure, I'll split my voice into threes.
Alix walks into theirs.
Thank you. Let's go with Alix first. Alix, you walk through a dark portal. It's almost as if it's just a sheer darkness, and you step out into the other side. You find yourself in a small room. It's darkness all around. You can't see the edges of the room whatsoever. Ahead of you is a small table, a single rectangular table. There is a chair, a stool, whatever you find most comfortable, on the side of the table that you are closest to. On the other side of the table, there are two large glowing yellow eyes, like that of stars, but very, very close. And there is a small, very small floating orb of light, providing just enough light on the table and on your chair, but not enough to show you the creature that the eyes belong to.
Hello?
Hello.
Oh. Hello, how are you doing today?
All the better for having someone to converse with. Please, take a seat.
I will do so.
It's comfy. So, you are here to purchase a dragon, are you not?
Well, the purchase a dragon sounds very strange to me. I would think of it more like help a dragon to grow.
So you are here to bargain for a dragon. Is that the proper, more comfortable word?
Well, yes, I believe I'd rather say bargain for a dragon, yes.
Okay. I am sorry, words change, and it has been a very long time since I have bargained with anybody. So, You want a dragon? What are you prepared to offer?
Not to show my hand too early, but basically, whatever you would like. For me, dragons... all I want in life is to help dragons. Everything for me is about dragons. They are majestic, and they are everything I can never be, but wish I could be.
You see the eyes kind of like tilt a little bit, as if they're turning their head to look at you. It would probably be possible for this to happen for you. You would not be a true dragon. But I believe that, and you are quite young, and could continue for hundreds of years, at least your genetic memory, shall we call it. It may be possible, after many years of bonding with your dragon friend, you may perhaps one day be able to do this.
Do not toy with me, please.
I require, if you are offering everything, I do not feel comfortable taking everything. That does not feel right even to me. And taking a life for a life makes no sense either. Even the bargains struck when reviving people do not ask of this, so I will not ask for this either.
There are only two things I am not willing to give.
State them.
My life, because if I do not have my life, obviously how can I raise the dragon? And number two,
Smart.
my staff. Because it was given to me by somebody very important who believed in me. And I cannot give that up.
Is that true?
Yes.
Let's say that your friends, companions, visitors, say they fail their trials. This may be the last chance for a dragon to be born. Are you willing to give that up because you will not give up your staff?
He wanted me to bring him back a dragon, but for me, his belief in me is more important. And I would go and I would search forever for another dragon if I had to. I tell you, anything else you want, you may have, but the staff, no one believes in me.
Take a persuasion roll for me. It's not difficult.
11.
Good thing I said it wasn't difficult. I understand this. I will not ask for that. Your kin live for many years, do you not?
Yes, unless we are killed, we can live forever.
I would like for you to give me a favor.
Okay, what would you like?
It is one that I may not need to cash in for 1,000 or more years. Is that a problem for you?
No, it should not be. If I fear that I am going to die, I will split off a new child from me and make sure that I imbue in the genetic memory that this deal has been struck. And you can call on any of my children if I am no longer around.
Who are kind of technically you.
Yes, essentially, yes.
Then I speak. I make this demand of future you, whatever form that may take. Whether that form is also a dead one. Be you go to Cicero or Bellum if you are truly killed. I will require a favor of you. Everything around you, begins to fizz like static. Like, for us, we would recognize this as turning on a TV channel that doesn't have any real signal. It's not dark, it's filled with that weird snow and that weird staticky sound that comes with it like white noise. The table in front of you just disappears as if it was never there. A drow walking towards you. They have their hair cropped very short, and their features are kind of undefined. Like, there's no real shape to the nose, but they have one. They have no real shape to their mouth or their chin, but they have them. They're quite blank as a slate. They step forward. They are many feet taller than you, 8-9 feet maybe. And they say, "If we are managed to save our planet, there is a chance that I will need to fight the gods to free myself from this prison. That may mean the dragons are done and over, but it may mean that they are free and able to do things differently. We are coming to the end of an era, the end of an age. That often comes with words and blood. I may not be able to cash in this favor for more than 1,000 years. And whether you are dead, alive, or some future version, I will require your aid to help me. Does fighting the gods scare you?"
No, I have no feelings strongly either way about the gods. The only thing I truly feel very strongly about is the dragons.
Good. Then future you better remember that. And with a blink, all of that static sound, all of the static visuals that you see around you disappear, and everything is as it was. If you are willing to grant me a generic favor in 1,000 years, then I will believe that you will be as you are. And if that is a bargain you are willing to accept, then I will grant you your dragon.
Done.
You feel like that same feeling you had when you appeared at the crossroads. Like your whole being had a sudden, like, a very big heartbeat just across your entire body. And you find yourself standing at the crossroads with a dragon egg, which is a pink dragon egg, I believe.
Yes.
Right?
This is the same thing I came to the crossroads with.
It feels like... It feels like there is movement from within inside the egg.
Gross.
Being around baby chickens when they hatch is so cute, though.
They get scared and they drop the egg.
No, Alex would. Casey, 100%. 100%. If I was holding an egg and I felt it move, I'd go, "Wah," and I'd drop it.
Okay. All right. I will get back to you in a minute, Alex. Okay. Tawree and Notch, which one of you wants to verbally spar with me first?
Notch is ready.
All right. Notch it is. Hang on. Aw, Casey.
I figure it's the order in which we touch the egg.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. You went with persuasion.
Orange door.
You step through the darkness, and it's like you've just walked through nothingness, and suddenly you're on the other side. Ahead of you, you see a very large... cavern is probably the wrong phrase, because the walls look like they're made of wood. And as you look up, you can see that there is a small amount of light coming through from the top of this wooden cavern. All around on the ground, there are what looks like leaves, these kind of orangey, fiery red leaves. and they're laying all across this ground. You can see that there is what looks like a very precarious walkway just off to your left that seems to go up and back through the wood itself. In the very center of this room, underneath where that kind of shafted light is coming, you see a tree. This tree has fiery red leaves that seem to be quite sharp, and you notice that there is what looks like a spigot hammered into the tree itself that seems to be pouring the slightest amount of sap out of it. As you look around, it's very obvious that there has been the signs of a fight. There's blood in different places, different sized footsteps. That's what you get without too much more looking around.
Hello?
The leaves on the tree begin to rustle. They move in a breeze that isn't there.
Oh. So. What should I call you?
I'm directing it towards the tree, thinking that it will talk back to me. Taking a guess.
Treebeard.
I'm gonna say you're like 30 feet out from this thing. It just rustles. It looks as though some of its branches kind of like deliberately move to point in your direction, and you hear the creaking of wood as it does so.
I step closer, careful not to step on any of the fiery leaves around me. So that
there's no way to avoid it. The ground is completely coated in it.
In that case,
apart from the areas where there's obviously been a fight or a scuffle.
I avoid the scuffly, bloody, fighty places and make my way closer to the tree.
Yep.
I'm here for my test. Or do you want me to leave you alone?
The leaves rustle in a way that indicates a small chuckle.
Don't worry, I'm not going to make you a scratching post or anything.
You hear, as the leaves rustle in a breeze that isn't here, you hear, "That is greatly appreciated."
I'm here for my test, so that, Firecracker and I can make our way out of here.
You wish to call your dragon my descendant, Firecracker?
If you have some other name that you find more appropriate, I will be more than happy to, partake on that wisdom. For you are the tree of life that this comes from. I am merely a servant to serve and protect this thing.
What makes you so worthy to protect my kin?
Well, looking at the options, I don't see any else that could be worthy enough to partake and guide this thing through life. It needs someone who has the ability to see far ahead, to be able to navigate life, and teach it as much of the ways of the past as I can possibly give it, imparted from those that were before it. There are no more living dragons, so the only way it can ever truly become one of its kind is to learn from those before it.
And I show my shield.
Step forward.
All right.
Let me see you better. And place your paw upon my bark.
I'll make sure the claws don't come out.
I do so.
Again, I appreciate that. You place your hand on the bark, and it suddenly feels like your hand has gotten very hot, but you aren't really able to pull it away until there's a little rustling of leaves, and you're suddenly able to detach yourself. Interesting.
Got quite a bite for your bark there.
this is what you want my kin to grow up surrounded by?
Fair.
You had someone that you kind of were guiding, weren't you? Karnak the White.
And I will continue to guide them when our paths meet again. There's a thing in this world, there are always dangers. And my own self-sacrifice would not be able to serve that purpose and that person at that time, but it will in the future. To be a true warrior, you do have to know what fights to fight and what fights to leave for another day.
Can you roll a persuasion check for me? It's not very difficult.
Oh.
Well, 13.
Oh, well, that's a good thing I said it wasn't very difficult. Understood. And I agree. If you had come in and shown that, tried to lie to me, that you would always be able to protect every fight, I would call you a liar, sir.
Well, I am part lion, but not that kind.
Again, there's like that slight chuckle coming from the leaves. You don't know if they're mocking you or just done with you. There are, just to correct you, there is one other dragon alive.
Oh. Where?
A place called Dimarius. It is far to the north. Kin of Dragonborn and kobolds. Created thousands of years ago. When my children's, etc. fought. And one remained long enough to create a place of warriors. If you wish to teach everything about this dragon's past, its culture, its histories, then I would suggest that you head there, because you cannot teach them that, for you do not have that knowledge.
I know enough to know what I don't know. So, I will go there. Is there any parting wisdom, given that you are the one that gave birth to these magnificent creatures, to be able to ensue some trust in that teacher? Because dragons are not the most familiar and trusting of our kind, and any foresight you might give will help not only myself, but Firecracker, other name pending, here.
I would... Firecrackers, I'm sure, a lovely name. My kin, they will grow up reflective of how you treat them. If you are trusting and honest, they are most likely to turn out the same. And it has been a long time since creatures other than dragons have raised other dragons. Perhaps it is time for new parenting styles with dragons to come about.
Then I will do my best.
And I know that you will learn from your failures.
I figure I'll fall down a little bit, but with this one's wings, hopefully that can pick me back up.
Well, better that you fall than I. And you see the whole tree kind of like rustle a little bit. Go forth. Raise Firecracker. Raise them to be good.
I literally raise the egg above my head in a literal sense.
Simba!
You notice that as the tree rustles, one or two of the leaves fall onto the shell and get absorbed.
Thank you.
Good luck. And with that, Notch, you feel like a sudden heartbeat on your entire body, and you are pushed back to the crossroads. Tawree.
Hi.
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 You see exactly the same thing that Notch did, but Notch is not there.
Oh, Notch!
You notice the tree in the middle of this wooden cavern. You notice the staircase, which is kind of precarious, that goes up into the wood and away. You notice there's a shaft of light coming in from the center. You notice that there are these kind of reddish, goldish leaves all on the ground. And you notice there's clearly signs of blood and scuffle nearby. And you notice there's a spigot in the tree. This
what?
is a spigot. So something that you can push into a tree to get sap out of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh no, I know where this came from.
I wonder what this place is getting. Yeah, that's what you see.
Yeah. Tawree's gonna step in and gonna call out, "Hello?"
There is a slight rustling in the leaves, as if there's a breeze, but there really isn't one.
She's gonna look around and approach the tree.
Yeah.
She's gonna look down on the floor where all the foliage is.
Yeah.
And she's gonna lightly brush them away with her tail to make a path.
Yeah, you notice that this area right by the tree trunk itself, there is a fair bit of blood here on the ground when you like sweep some of these leaves away. There was obviously like a big scuffle just like right here. And that's where the spigot is too.
Yeah, she's gonna call out, I'm here because of the dragon egg. I was told I was supposed to talk to someone here.
Hello.
Is anyone there?
You just hear the rustling. Hello. And you hear a very gentle voice on the breeze.
Hello. She's gonna look around like she's expecting someone to be there.
Nah, I don't see anyone. I don't know. Do you look up? You see a smiling Cheshire cat? No, you don't see anyone.
The tree from Pocahontas.
Yes, I am that.
Are you the tree?
You see, you hear and see the branches kind of like move sort of towards in your direction. You hear the creaking and the rustling of the leaves. And then you just hear, yes, I am that.
Are you the one I need to talk to? It's about the dragon egg.
Yes, I'm the one you should be speaking with.
I want to become the parent of this dragon. I want to help attach and grow into a dragon so we can help fight the whatever has befallen this world, so it will not end.
You wish to raise my kin as a warrior for your fight?
I'll be honest, I don't know what exactly their role will be in this fight. I was just told that a dragon might be able to help us.
Why should I let you raise my child's child, etc.?
Because a friend of mine and Tawree's gonna be like I guess kneeling down or like sitting down.
Yeah.
And like letting the egg rest in front of her. And she's gonna say, someone I know, a friend of mine, told me that dragons are evil. And they wanted to fight the dragons. But I don't believe that you can tell if a creature is evil or not simply because they are a dragon. I do believe that a lot of that comes from how you raise a child, how it is raised, from how it is reared, brought up, how it interacts with the world. And I want to show that friend that a dragon can be a good person if you do it right.
Reach out and touch my bark.
I'm gonna assume Tawree sat down far enough so she can reach the bark. And yeah, she reaches the bark.
Yeah, like you put your hand on it and your hand gets like suddenly very hot, but you can't really pull it away. And yeah, as after a moment or two, it does like kind of you are able to free your hand from the tree. It takes a moment, but you are able to like free your hand. It all of a sudden becomes loose. And the tree says, you're already a parent, aren't you?
Yes.
From what I can see, your 2 children are already quite special.
But they are at that age where they are starting to become independent.
That is true. Would you treat my kin as one of your own?
Of course.
And would you allow that kin, being that the fight is maybe only weeks away, to fight if they're not ready?
No. I don't know what their role is going to be, but I will not allow a child to fight. If this dragon child hatches, I want it to grow up in a world that exists instead of a one that does not exist. Just like my kids, just like Kimball, just like the kids of my friend, fuck the name. What's her name? No, not the siblings of...
Sarissa's siblings, yeah.
Sarissa!
Yeah.
Sarissa. I want them all to have a world to live in that includes this dragon baby.
You are not particularly familiar with dragons, are you?
Not particularly, but I can learn. I have a friend that said Sarissa, she knows a lot about dragons.
That she does. And what of your bargain with Ortrop?
I will do as Ortrop says if this child shows any sign of being evil, as he says, or carrying a spark of taint, I guess.
I understand his concerns. I have watched many of my offspring do things that shake me to my roots.
But I do not believe that a child that is not even born carries that taint in them. That I strongly believe that is something that is earned, that is learned, that they do not carry when they are hatched.
I happen to agree. There are many things that you will have to learn. And I believe the Dragon Knights you travel with will be able to help you.
I hope so. I hope to learn from them.
Ortrop may need to be dealt with if they cannot be made to see what you and I see.
I understand.
Your dragon child may never be able to replace the power that Ortrop has given you.
If this apocalypse ends and we're able to live a normal life again, then I will not be... I don't need the powers that Ortrop has given me for that reason.
Good luck. I would offer you more assistance, but I am in a very difficult to reach place for you.
Is there any way I can somehow reach you maybe in the future? Die!
Only through death.
I understand.
Good luck. And you see a few of the leaves begin to float down and land on top of your egg. And like a giant heartbeat that affects your entire body, you find yourself at the crossroads. The three of you, plus Kimball, plus John, all appear at the crossroads at exactly the same time. For those of you who are successful, at least the three of you, you feel that there is life within the egg that you're holding. What do y'all want to do now?
I'm gonna be a dad.
Or Tawree is like Tawree, having been a mother, a birth-giving mother, is gonna hug that egg like real tight and gonna wrap it up so it's like kept warm under her cloak, or under her garment.
I'm putting my egg inside of me.
Incubation.
How better to protect
I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't know how better to protect it.
You don't have any clothes, do you?
No. Wait. No, right? Because I didn't.
I think that's
I thought you had clothes.
Oh, no, I do. I don't know why I thought that I had puddled and lost them, but no, I have clothes. So they're inside me, but under my clothes. So they're extra warm. They won't be dissolved.
I mean, you can wrap it up. You can wrap it up in your clothes and then put it inside of you.
No, if I'm just going to put it directly inside of me because I'm not a gelatinous cube and it's not going to dissolve if I don't want it to.
No, I just meant for extra protection and visibility protection. Like,
but
in
that's
case
what I was
something sees
thinking
it
is
and,
that
like,
if it's inside me underneath my clothes,
yeah,
no one's going to be able to see it. They're not going to be able to see that I'm holding it.
Okay, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Hibernate. No, that's not the word. Whatever you do to eggs to sit on them, it's not hibernate, is it? Hatch?
Incubate.
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 Yeah.
Incubate.
I was going to say excubate, but it's the other way around.
You're definitely able to conceal your egg within yourself, no problem whatsoever. You can see that Kimball is like holding onto the egg. It's quite big compared to her size, but she seems to have like wrapped it up in a cloak that seems to have come from nowhere. And you can see that around her wrist there is you can see that attached to the outfit, clothes that she's wearing to her shirt, you can see that there is this what looks like a patch that has been sewn in of what looks like a tree.
Where'd you get the garb, kid?
I was going to give it to a tattoo, but she's way too young to have that, so I'm just going to put on her clothes instead.
Kimball, you did it.
Yeah, I did. John was very helpful, but I actually didn't need his help.
And you see that he looks and smiles, like nods along.
I'm sure you did well.
Wait a minute. Why does she get it to go bag and we don't?
I found this. It was amongst some houses and some ruins, and I looked around a little bit after I started talking to the thing, and I found this. So yeah, did you not find anything where you were? Did you manage to make it okay?
I mean,
Yeah.
we all looks like we all passed. I mean,
there was just a tree there where I was.
yeah, you got the tree too.
Yeah.
I met a guy and I made a promise, and now I have a dragon egg that is got a dragon inside of it.
What'd you promise?
I promised to fight the gods, but like in 1,000 years. So
Oh, so like not next week.
In that moment, you see John put like his hands on his knees, lean over, and he's just laughing his head off.
Was that like a blink of an eye for you, Jean-Tour?
Yeah. I was just going to say.
This is like an absolute blast from the past. Wow, fighting gods again. Oh, I haven't had one of those in a while. Wow. 1,000 years. My gosh, I'm going to really have to go in and speak with them. 1,000 years. What hogwash.
I'll be a clump of dirt in the backyard by that time.
Yes, worrisome for you, not so much for me.
well,
Oh,
I
my.
will be alive unless I am killed. And if I
very, very true.
I think this
Well,
just
perhaps
means I
I'll
have
see
to
you
have
here
a
again at
child.
some point.
Well, they also said that if I did die, that they would get me from wherever I was dead. So
So now you can't die? That's
that's-
kind of a cool gig. I mean,
No,
you
I
get the
can-
dragon egg and immortality. All right.
no, well, I am. The thing about plasmoids is we are effectively immortal unless we are killed.
But I heard the children part, so you're down for the Alix cloning thing.
I guess so. Yes.
Army of Alixes. I don't think I can put it down yet.
Well, it was absolutely lovely to meet you all, but I'm actually going to go speak to your bargain maker.
John Tor, do you really have other things to do right now? I mean, you live in an eternal
What?
void.
Well, actually, yes, I do, dear boy. I have many responsibilities as a person of responsibility for this world, one of which includes guarding this crossroads, and one of which includes giving guidance here at the crossroads, and other such...
Do a lot of people come pass here through the crossroads?
Yes, not just for dragons, for all sorts of things, actually.
Oh.
When people need to perform certain rituals, make certain things happen, yes, they quite often come here. I quite often have to deal with them, from all around the world, all different times.
Are we going to meet again? Is that a thing?
Oh, I don't think so. Not unless you decide to bond with another dragon, but that would assume that your current one, whatever this one is called, dies.
Oh,
In which case you'd be a pretty shit guardian, and I probably wouldn't allow you to do this again.
so it's a 1-to-1 thing. We can't come back with all the other eggs and just talk the tree again and just, cycle through.
Oh, you could certainly try, but I probably wouldn't allow you to.
Oh.
You'd probably actually have to take steps there. Raising a dragon is a very intense thing. It is not something you can just have multiples of. It's very difficult.
Or we clone Alix, send Alixes through to get more eggs. And you don't like this
genetic
idea,
information is already in them.
I feel like you're not quite understanding the spirit of what I'm doing here.
I have a very important question, actually.
Yes, of course.
Well, it is two parts. Number one, how do we leave? And number two, is there a possible way where we can leave and be somewhere where we did not come from? Because where we came from is not safe for the dragon eggs.
Oh, hey.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes,
I like that
of
idea.
course. So, let me just, one moment. I just need to shift your perspective.
We might need to deal with the white leonin, though.
Oh, yeah.
If they are coming for
I
the
can't
dragon
leave
eggs,
Cormac
maybe
behind.
we
I don't
should...
know if... I mean...
Also, well, Sarissa might be coming to that location too. If they might need some guidance on how to deal with the dragon eggs.
Well, let me put it like this. First of all, may shift your perspectives a little bit. And you notice that as they kind of put their hands together and then pull them apart, what looks like a giant dark vortex appears in the ground between you all. Just jump through there. You'll go where you need to go. As for taking you to other places, this vortex will take you literally wherever you wish to go. So if you want to go back to where you came from, perfectly feasible. If you want to go to somewhere else in the material plane, again, perfectly feasible. But this is a one-time use. I am not doing this again. I am not sending you all to different places.
Oh, we all have to go
Just
to the
think
same
about
place.
where you want to go and you'll go. Sorry?
We all have to go to the same place.
Well, I'd be willing in this one example, this one time, I'd be willing to send you each to different places. But don't let any of the other potential dragon guardians, parents, knights, or whatever you want to call yourselves, arch nemesis, don't let them know. Not really supposed to do this. The gods. They'd be pretty annoyed. Fight the gods in 1,000 years.
Well, I don't know about you two, but, I mean, if we stand to make this, on our own, with a whole bunch of dragon kids...
There are still 3 more eggs, and at least one person was coming that way, and we don't know their intention.
It was Cormac, and, well, from your description, and Cormac was another Leonin that was sort of a partner, companion from back on my island. And,
Are you attached to them? Because I heard some of the traps go off in the tunnels. It sounded like they might have triggered the arrow trap.
And they also...
from what I know of
after you
Cormac,
went,
I
they
don't think
also-
those traps are gonna do anything.
I think they did. I heard lots of screaming and shouts, and I'm really sorry if I hurt your friend.
Well then, my mind is made up. I think I have to go back for Cormac. And if you both want to go with me, I would be honored. And we can raise these dragons together. Or
What if I took all the eggs and I went somewhere else?
Do you have a place to go? You said earlier you don't have anywhere else.
Maybe you could pick a place for me to go that would get me somewhere and the eggs safe.
honestly, I don't know anywhere safe but where is around me.
The Orc Islands. We could send them to the Orc Islands, where my kids are, where Sarissa's siblings are, and they are very strong fighters over there. They could definitely protect the eggs.
I don't know about you, but when I was on that other side, I made a promise to protect this egg and raise it as my own, and I do not think that they would think kindly on giving away a gift like this at such a time.
Right, I feel the same way. I do not feel that.
yeah.
I feel that I must stay with my egg, especially as the bargain I have made is so dire.
I agree.
Then maybe if
And I don't feel like we should send Kimball on her own somewhere.
then maybe if we go back to where we came from, I'll just wait at the bottom of the tree with the eggs.
While we deal with the other Leonin?
She nods. And
Yeah,
that your Leonian friend could still be a friend.
that is
and
true.
Alive.
They might need some help getting, if they also want to be a parent or a guardian to a dragon egg, they might need some guidance.
The last time I was in reach with Cormac, there was still good in them, but they were under a spell, so... I mean...
The spell might not reach them this far. I don't know much about magic. Don't take my word for it.
Cormac would make a valuable ally.
You're going to be the... You're gonna be the one who has to make the assessment.
Oh,
I don't know them.
goody.
I think we should go back to where we came from and go from there.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay.
You see Kimball just like look at the three of you and then just like smile and do that thing, you know, where cats like push the thing over, except she just jumps in.
No.
This kid
Tawree's gonna
and
jump
leaping
right
into
after.
things, man. It's going to get us in trouble.
I will jump also,
I follow in kind.
but clutching my tummy.
All right.
With egg in hand.
Aww. They got the eggs. Woo! Thank you all so much for listening to this episode. This was an absolute riot, an absolute lot of fun, and I'm so glad that they got the eggs. So, like, dragons in the wild? ? So, yeah, I want to say thank you to Shadow Plays for the name Arcantos and to Jan Tor from Peregrine. So, thank you both so very much. If you haven't listened to any of Mr. Wayland's stuff, go listen to We're Alive. It's awesome. One of my favourite podcasts ever. Just go and, yeah, enjoy. And hopefully, we'll be back with the finale for Dragonseekers really soon. Bye.